So technology is advancing really rapidly. And at some point, a lot of scientists are saying that at some point we might all be cyborgs. I mean, they're already cyborgs technically.
What's it called?
People say the fact that we have iPhones or phones like that can do what they do now, it's like we are cyborgs because we never part ways with our phone anymore.
That's what Elon Musk is saying.
This is like a brain.
Yeah, he says we are cyborgs, it's just our bandwidth is limited by our thumbs right now, because this is how we access
We
things.
gotta put this inside of ourselves.
No, that's a mark of the beast.
Well, hold on. So the like people that have like, for example, prosthetics, like they're considered cyborgs.
Oh yeah.
So prosthetics are also kind of like considered cyborg territory.
Wait. Are those prosthetics though like technological in that they have like a...
Tick with a pump. I'm a cyborg.
Like, you have your body being part of like with machine and your flesh.
Yes.
Yep.
I think
Robotic dick.
you could kind of classify that, but to be a real cyborg, it would have to be like you need the functions, like stuff to keep you alive.
Right. So which brings me to this guy,
RoboCop.
Peter Scott Morgan.
You got 3 first names.
Never trust
And
them.
he's not a hillbilly.
Unless they're a lawyer.
Oh, that's the only time. No, but usually that's multiple people. No?
Oh, that's how it works.
Like they end up creating a practice.
Yeah, Peter, Scott, and Morgan.
So Larry H. and Parker came together.
No, he's just one guy.
Damn, who's H? Brother of Triple H.
That's fucking funny. Oh, it really cracked me up. Okay, so anyway, he's a doctor, by the way. He's a scientist. And so back in 2017, he got diagnosed with motor neuron disease, which is the same incurable condition that killed Stephen Hawking. Or how Steve would say Stephen Hawking's. He's pretty much considering himself as a science experiment.
Guinea pig.
Yeah, like a guinea pig, because he's trying to become the world's first full-fledged cyborg.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's what Tyson died of too.
Oh yeah.
Cyborg.
Well, no, the motor neurodegenesis, where it's like it's slowly from his rear. So his mind was sharp and his front legs were sharp, but first it was like he can't move his tail, then he can't control his butt, then he can't really control even his stomach. So then now he doesn't even know when he's hungry, when he really is very hungry, but he doesn't know that he's hungry.
That's so sad.
Yeah, and it was just like
that is how it affects.
yeah, and it starts moving up.
Yeah, it moves up this way too.
Yeah.
So for him,
Why doesn't it go this way?
You
Well,
just
you-
died from
then you would die. Your brain
your
doesn't.
your head's dead, but your fucking legs are breakdancing in the back.
It's like a chicken.
Oh my gosh.
It's all tap dancing and shit.
It's like Onward. Like Onward, how it was just the dad's feet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, just walking would have been fine, you know.
Tap dancing. Only the toes though, because that's like the last remaining thing.
Why is tap dancing so funny?
It's funny. Dude, when I was a kid, I thought that was the sickest shit ever. And
That was cool?
And every time we would go to Payless, I would always try on the tap dancing shoes.
They had tap dancing shoes?
Yes, and I always begged my mom to buy them.
I used to think river dancing was really sick too.
It is sick.
Fucking music and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I was like, oh,
you know what
fuck
made
yeah.
it funny though was Superstar, when her parents died from river dancing. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
They were dancing too crazy, and then they're
Superstar, this one?
yeah, this one. Her parents died like that. That's why the grandma was against performance.
Why does it sound so familiar?
I gotta watch that movie again. This is the only thing I remember.
Yeah, that's it. You can tell which generation we're from
Yeah.
that. Okay, anyway, back to Peter here. So I have a video for you guys where
Why did she do that?
we're back to her.
All right.
Shannon.
I don't know. I thought it was funny, but I
Me
was
too.
it was never answered.
The scene where she was making out with the tree and it was so passionate.
Oh yeah!
I was like, oh, I remember being a little girl getting like
Turned on.
horny and shit. I'm like, why is this making
Fuck
me
that
horny?
Weird.
Yeah.
You have a thing for trees, huh?
It wasn't the thing for trees, it's how passionate she was for
I wear a
it.
tree costume tonight. He's gonna be in bed with like just a bunch of Bart.
I'm gonna start cosplaying as a tree.
And then Bart's gonna be like, Casey.
Oh no!
Oh yeah.
No!
Bart likes fucking trees.
Retracting that statement.
And I'm gonna be like, or you
I'll
can.
be on another tree already, and I look at Casey. Whoa.
I never seen my friend this way.
This tree over here, though, is like, thank you, Casey.
Oh no.
There was another guy in a costume just like, he was just trying to be a tree. And
It was Gio trying to be a tree.
Tree, goddammit.
All right, but anyway, so back to this. So I have a trailer
a treeler?
of Peter So they're doing this show in the UK around him and how he's trying to be a cyborg and stuff. So here we go.
That's insane.
A Petri?
Ready?
Yo!
An incredible journey of one scientist.
I intend to be a human guinea pig.
Diagnosed with motor neuron disease, he transforms himself
Think of it as a science experiment.
into part man,
That's dope.
Here is my new interface.
part machine,
This is cyborg territory.
using innovative
That's insane.
Forward, what people see is the current state of the art.
He's on a mission to reclaim his quality of life.
Happy anniversary, darling.
You can't help but be impressed.
Oh man.
He wants to take control.
We can turn.
So you could slowly see that he's losing.
Here,
Yeah.
watch his body's failing him slowly.
Insane.
Because he could use this part, like his upper body, but then some parts
Moving
it looks
up.
like, yeah.
Yeah, so the procedure that he said this is my new interface is because he actually got like a
Colonoscopy bag?
yeah.
Colonoscopy?
Yes.
I think that's how you say it.
It's so he also did a feeding tube directly into his stomach, a catheter into his bladder, and a colostomy bag. That's what I'm saying. Colostomy bag in his colon. So that means he doesn't have to eat now he can get fed by that feeding tube because slowly he's gonna lose the motor skill or whatever it's called, like for the digestive tract.
Yeah.
It's so crazy that maybe just because he's a scientist and doctor that he's able to like know about these things and do it, but he seems so like passionate and happy that he's
Very
doing
passionate.
Yeah.
Because then that could eventually help so many more people in
That's true.
their lives.
Exactly.
I thought that was Stephen Hawking for a minute. Like a younger one. That looked like him.
Yeah, I feel like that once that thing starts taking over your body, like say you lose the muscle, everyone kind of starts having those similar features about themselves.
Yeah.
Because he didn't look like that when he was
Like
young.
you're getting numb from like ground up. Yeah,
So then he's gonna be Robo Man.
Well, so here's the thing. So he also decided to undergo a laryngectomy, and so that's to separate his esophagus and trachea, and so that is to prevent saliva from running into his lungs as the paralysis continues to move up his body towards his chest and his throat. But that means that he will be losing his voice.
His voice, yeah.
And for other people who have suffered from this, they said that losing your voice is the most the hardest thing.
Because how do you communicate? Right?
Exactly, it's like you no longer feel like a person. That's what makes you feel like.
Really?
People, they're saying that's what makes them feel the most disabled is not being able to communicate.
Well, Stephen Hawking was able to use his like hand, and it got to like one thing, and then it was his eyes, huh?
Well, and then after the eyes, it was something with the brain.
But when he was communicating, wasn't it like because he was using his eyes or something,
Yes.
and then the sound would come out?
Right. So then the doctor who helped him finalize like to the most like recent form of his ability to communicate. That's the same doctor that he has enlisted into helping him come up with a technology. So pretty much they're creating this AI to provide full and instant responses so he can communicate rather than typing out individual letters using a gaze tracker.
What if it said the wrong thing, and it's like, no, that's not what I wanted to say?
It auto-corrected or something?
Yeah.
They accidentally give him a female voice, like Siri.
No, he's actually, so before losing his voice, he has spent so much time recording his voice, saying different words, saying different like syllables, whatever it is.
Did
And
you say all the bad words too, just to make sure they get it right?
probably.
Because like Stephen Hawking, like he pretty much has the same voice of a speaking spell. So then whenever I hear that, I'm like, oh, that's Stephen Hawking, right? And then like if the technology didn't change, it would have sounded the same. But then now he's gonna have customization.
Do you
Yeah,
feel
so
like
then-
at this point though, you would also like, even though you don't understand it, you just speak a bunch of like different languages, just sound-wise, and then the computer's gonna do it right for you anyway?
Well, it's hard because like Siri can pretty much say a lot of things.
Yeah.
But you tell her to say Nadeem, she doesn't say Nadeem like Nadeem.
Nadeem.
Like this guy can speak in his own words properly, but then you're like, oh, my name's Nadeem. He's like, Nadeem. And you're like, no, it's Nadeem. He goes, Nadeem.
Well, he
And you're
can't
like,
pronounce.
Yeah, he cannot pronounce. So it's like
It's like learning new words. Can you do that? Yeah.
True.
That's the thing.
So then that this entire case is really highlighting how do we define what it means to be human then at this point? Because if an AI is doing the speaking, the interaction for him, then it's not really him necessarily, but he's trying to put the most of himself into this AI and into everything else that he's doing in his body. So it's just really blurring the line.
So at some point, this AI is going to take over the consciousness.
Well, it's not taking over the consciousness. It's more like providing, like being able to understand how Peter would respond to a question and answering as if like this is how Peter would answer. With this AI trying to be Peter.
Are you sure it's that way?
That's how they explain it.
Or is it like Stephen Hawking's where it's still his voice, but he's telling it what to say because he can't physically speak?
Yeah, it's along the lines of that.
So it's still not like AI.
Well, they're calling it an AI though because they are
Maybe other functions that are
like
helping.
an algorithm of some sort of like this is how Peter's brain works. This is how he would respond, even though like I don't know exactly.
But his brain is still like the main intention and driver.
Yeah.
So is it like when you ask like Siri or Alexa or something like that for information, then they technically have to either search Google or search blah blah blah. So this AI is kind of like a filter that has to like ask his brain what he wants to say,
right?
When
Something like that.
When it gets like addressed, right? Like there's probably some sort of like you have to say his name for it to function.
Oh,
Shit
Right?
like
It's
that.
like, hey Peter.
That's insane.
hello, Peter.
Because I still feel like it's gonna be him. It's the brain. His brain is still the human part of him, right? Even if he's 100% robot.
Well, that's the thing. He's eventually trying to get to the point where he can transfer his entire like consciousness and all that stuff into a machine, so he can continue to live on.
That would be. I would do that.
It would be like transcendent.
I would want to.
Would
fucking
This
Johnny
guy's
Depp.
face looks a little bit crazy to be like totally like in the digital space.
True.
Because in that same scenario, if he becomes fully like cyborg or something, and then he can like upload himself
Into any
Into the
digital
cloud.
computer. Yeah.
to the cloud, dunzo,
The
dude.
thing is, because whenever I hear that theory where it's like, if once AI can go, why would they not want to take over?
Exactly. Or they're gonna notice that humans are the fucking virus and then get rid of us because we're the ones causing the earth to be shit.
Yeah.
Oh, cancel culture's catching up to
I'll
us.
just turn off this and I'll go to my mud hut. Bye bye.